Okay, next.
I like actually the first mile because it's really.
What is unique about Boston other than the 130 years, or maybe that is entirely what's unique?
Yeah, the Boston Marathon, obviously with it being a qualifying marathon, brings out a bunch of fans. It brings out the people that know and love and follow running. And I really love that about Boston. We're all out here trying to run as fast as we can and to compete, and I think that's what I love about Boston. And then obviously with it being a point-to-point course, I think you never know what you're going to get. And I love the variety of what that brings with the weather and the hills and just being able to navigate all the nuances of what is the marathon, because then that makes it a preparation course. It makes it something that you can break down and prepare better than anybody else will. There's not a lack of wonderful training partners to train with, and it is a shared load. You know, when someone in your training partner or your training group is on, they push you, and when you're on, you can push them. And in a way, you're also at different stages of training. And so while I may be really good at the long stuff right now, the long runs, you know, Casey Klinger, he's really good at the shorter stuff right now. And that dynamic in training, I think, is really important to get the most out of yourself. And you know, I get to train also with Kenneth Brooks and Dan Mahalski, who are steeplechasers, but you know, they really push us on the track. And I can tell you how many times Dan is just there, willing to pace me through these 400-meter reps or these 800-meter reps to take a lap, and I think it gets the most out of our whole group.
After, so try to use it as fuel for your next race or marathon.
I would say you win or you learn. You don't fail. So I feel like every time, whenever plan does not go well, you gotta learn what went bad. And if you if you nail what went bad that day, I think that will really give you like a new motivation. So for the next preparation, the next day.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that statement. Going over even just training or races, we always say what went well and then what can be recovered. And I enjoy that too, because there's always different variations of causes of things that happen in a race that are sometimes controllable, sometimes aren't. So I like to rephrase it like what can be learned.
I had a coach always said, you can lose the game, don't lose the lesson. And then he also used to tell us, be loose as a goose and twice as a shifty.
Or high volume, high mileage, or like intense workout, I still get one step back and analyze what can work for me, and I always try to not prevent the injuries and not rush things and give the long term over short term. So yeah, I sometimes have opportunities where I can do a lot of things, but I still want to take it slowly and progress throughout the years.
And this year we're doing a new kind of unique approach about adding a little bit more volume. Training for, of course, the LA 28 games. And so everything I'm doing now is for that purpose. So we're trying a little bit different training techniques for this season. We're going to see how it goes. Last season was a little bit not as high a volume, still high, but more of the short tempo. So we're going to see how this combination works.
Yeah, this build, because it was so condensed and I had 8 to 10 weeks, I kind of had this mindset of I have to do everything that I can. Usually in a marathon build, you can say, oh, I don't want to burn out, I can wait to build volume, or I can wait to build mileage, or do these certain workouts. But it was kind of this urgent mentality. And so on Saturdays, I would do my long runs, and then in the evenings, I would go for a double. And so on my Saturdays, I'd be in 25 miles in the morning, and then I'd run 4 or 5 or 6 miles in the afternoon, 32 miles on the day. That was pretty unique to this build, just because I felt like that was the only place that I could place extra mileage. Typically, we take a long run on Saturday, and then I don't race again, or I don't run again until Monday because I take Sundays off. So that was something unique this build that I did. I wouldn't recommend it per se, but it was just that was pretty unique this build. And for me, it was all about blood flow, just recovering Saturday evening and just trying to get as much as I could in this build with the time that I had.
I think something that's unique maybe in my approach in general throughout my whole career is my longevity maybe. I've been running like competitively for a while, and I think what's like helped and led with that is like switching things up. I think like something's feeling stale, I might just try to like do something new, like go like meet up with people to run more, go to a training camp with other people I can train with and push myself, or try different distances, hop in like a 10K or a half marathon if my marathons are feeling a little flat, and then get back to the marathon after that and kind of just move around a bit. So switching things up in general, I think, and then just I think for me also what's led to maybe the longevity as well is just having people in my corner that have such good like perspective on things. Like I love my job and I love pushing myself and setting these really ambitious goals, but I also have people that just have the best perspectives and I feel like they really help me keep my head on my shoulders and just remind myself that it's running. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't make any race bigger than it needs to be, and I just approach it. I don't know, just prepare like you were talking about, and yeah, just try to like go into every race the best I can.
Yeah, I feel like my training is pretty standard. It might be unique in the way that I get a little bit more volume than some women do. I can get up to 130 to 135 and feel pretty good still. So I'd say that's the only thing that's super unique about me.
But it makes sense too. Right? So when you do a 5K, you have all
Let's go, KC! KC! Let's go! KC! Let's go!